Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Gia and I'm here with you today for a pick a card what's coming to you this week, April 20th through the 26th, but specifically what's coming to you while we're all in quarantine. If you're like me, you're experiencing the full brunt of this pandemic that we're all going through. We're all told to stay in the house, and while we're in the house, not really going out as much as we used to. We're being surrounded by a lot of different energies that maybe have been building up for a while. Maybe it's energy that's building up because our life has been disrupted in this way. But in quarantine, all these things can come to a head. So let's see what's coming for you in the next week coming up. I have three groups for you. The first is this smoky quartz, the second is golden citrine, and the third is this pale rose quartz. So please take a minute, take a breath, and choose the one that you're drawn to the most. There'll be timestamps below for you to pick which group you are drawn to. So group one, let's go ahead and see what is coming for you this week. Seems we got the Tower, Magician, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, let's look at the Tower first. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Tower usually represents destruction and chaos, and as we can see in this particular deck, this person looks like they're being shattered into pieces. That usually can mean that in this case, I think sudden change is coming. It can be unpredictable, and like the way this person is being shattered, it's going to be uncomfortable. This is that Mars masculine, forceful energy just coming through and maybe destroying or upending your life, maybe. But this can also be a learning experience because, see, even though they're being shattered into pieces here, they're also, looks like they're holding a ball of energy in their hands, growth. So maybe a change is going to happen to you in this time in quarantine. You're going through something and you're going to have an epiphany or realization of what you should do going forward. This could also be the realization at the bottom here. We have the outline of a fox looking up at some grapes, and I don't know about you, but usually I don't really know that foxes or predators don't really eat fruit or vegetables. Maybe this is that realization might be that maybe we're not being completely honest with ourselves about a situation going on in our lives, and we should be honest with ourselves. So maybe that's going to be your realization. Maybe quarantine is stirring up these emotions for you, or these things. The second card, the Magician, as we can see here, usually in the traditional Rider-Waite, stands for action, creativity, and success, broadening our horizons. We have to have the drive to push our plans forward and take a new creative approach, be it through a business or a hobby, maybe a creative project on the side, something you've always wanted to do. Maybe that will also come from the realization from the Tower. Maybe we need to form a new vision for us to create with our lives. Because you can see the Magician here is forming an orb in his hands, and he's creating life. There's an infinity symbol above his head saying for infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite time. It's a cycle, alternating existence. Manifest. He's manifesting his desires as you should manifest your desires. And then next we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups represents, like pictured here, an intuitive woman. Maybe this is you, maybe this is someone in your life, or maybe this is just even the energy you're feeling, that you're nurturing, compassionate, with strong emotional intelligence. Maybe you choose your friends carefully so that you can treasure them. You don't want to just let anybody into your life. As we can see in this card, she's holding a cup and she's manifesting what looks to be like little fish. And above her, actually, is a halo of, looks like fish she's already manifested into her life. And at the bottom are two koi fish, almost in the pattern of yin and yang. So manifest your desires is what I'm getting from this. Do this with selfless love. You are in perfect harmony, represented by these koi fish here. The perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy and harmony. Yeah, you can manifest your desires in quarantine with this through selfless love. And then lastly, we have the waning moon, which is what do you need to release? I generally get it from this that a situation has peaked, that you need to let it end, stop fighting it, stop resisting that this situation has had its time. You need to let it go. Don't resist it. Let yourself move on. Allow yourself to heal and start fresh. And that kind of ties in back with the tower, that there is something coming that is changing and you can't stop it. You can't control it. It's an outside force. And that maybe it's time to let it go. And then once you let it go, maybe it's time to create your own life, your own path with what you want to do, and do it in with selfless love. Manifest your desires. So that's what's coming for this particular group in quarantine. Okay, so group 2, let's see what's coming for you this coming week in quarantine. Okay, so first we have the 7 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and Strength, and New Moon in Aries. Let's start with the 7 of Cups. Now, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the 7 of Cups, generally, let me just take this out of the way, it's trying to focus. Golden citrine. The 7 of Cups represents opportunities and extremes, fantasies, daydreams, and delusions as well. The cups here in this particular card represents dreams that can be manifested. I see this is an empty cup and these are ones that are full, and it's leading back up into this castle, which is kind of like the pinnacle of what your dreams could be, is this gigantic huge castle. This generally means we should begin new projects. Find out about what each of your paths to these dreams could be. But because you can see all these great opportunities building in front of you, you should not let yourself get lost and lose reality and what is feasible and what is fantasy. If you don't act on it, you won't get it. You can't have any procrastination with this card, because while there are all these things you could have, if you get lost along the way, you'll just become stagnant and lost again. So maybe while you're in quarantine, you're sitting around and maybe you're fantasizing about, oh, these are all these things I want to do, and you need to act on it versus just, I'll start it tomorrow, I'll start it next week, we're going to be inside for another month. You need to take action now, is what I'm getting from this card. And then next we have the 4 of Wands. Now the 4 of Wands represents freedom, creativity, domestic happiness, possibilities, and celebration. You can see in this card, this bird is breaking free from its chains that was keeping it tied down to these wands, or these, I guess in this case, these trees of some sort. And the way that the flower petals or leaves are falling makes it look like it's celebrating like confetti, its own release. These chains, in your instance, may not be physical chains, but maybe it's mental, emotional stress, something that we can't see, something that's keeping us locked into what we feel is keeping us locked into a certain position or place. Um, but we will be freed from those at this time. Maybe at this time in quarantine, you were going to establish yourself in your work or your personal life. You know, maybe you're gonna put down roots. You're going to share and shape your own happiness and your own light with other people. Your projects and creative adventures will flourish with this. So these dreams that you have outlined here with the Seven of Cups, you will celebrate them. You will put down roots with them. You will put action towards them with this. That's what I'm getting with this. And strength, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Is usually patience, tension, courage, compassion, empowerment for yourself. As we can see in this card, this figure is standing above a snake. And we can see that somebody has fired arrows at this snake and that she herself is holding arrows. She has put herself between the snake and those firing on it, taking the brunt of the beating, protecting the snake that could not in this moment help itself. She has strength and character and determination with dealing with the situation. She doesn't appear to be afraid at all. This means that for you, maybe this is your creative project. You're taking the raw idea of your project, your dreams, your vision, and developing it. But you're not going to sacrifice the pieces of your project, like the spirit of your project. You're not going to let anyone tell you what to do with it. You're not going to let it be, you're not going to water it down to make it more palatable to everyone else. You should do it the way you want to do it. With strength, you can discover your purpose, your desire, and see them through with this card. And lastly, we have the new moon in Aries, where it says it's time to take action. This is a new start. Aries is pushing you toward success in your endeavors. This is the right time to start a new project. Make a plan and do not think about giving up, is what I'm getting from this card. So with all of these combined, I'm getting that in quarantine, you're probably having visions or dreams. You're seeing all of your dreams, the things you want to manifest. You're seeing them, and it's time that you celebrate them and put decisive action towards them. You have the strength and courage to do so, and this is the perfect time. I mean, we're all at home, right? I mean, if you're like me where I am, we're at least home till May 15th. So this is the perfect time for you to start your passion projects. And that's all for this group. Let's move on to group 3. So group 3, let's see what's coming for you this week in quarantine. Okay, so first we have the 8 of Wands, Judgment, the Lovers, and the Supermoon. Let's start with the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands, in the traditional Rider-Waite, usually refers to news, travel, action, speed, and excitement. As we can see, these rods are driving into the ground pretty hard because it's stirring up all this paper, and these papers are going to bring news. Now, the 8 of Wands is usually a positive card, so this news should be positive and exciting. Be prepared for the unexpected good news that you will be getting this week. So, in quarantine, we're all sitting around, not really having much to do, but this seems to me like you will get some good news this week. and you'll have to think quickly and adapt well with an immediate action. This is a positive love card as well, so maybe there is potential for a new lover. If you're already with someone, maybe that relationship will get deeper. Maybe if you're separated, maybe you will get back together, kind of thing. I just see a positive outcome. Maybe if you're not together, you will finalize your parting and be happier for it. Okay, moving on. Now we have Judgment. Judgment. Oh, there's a lot with this card, I think. Yeah. So for Judgment, it's usually assessment, letting go of the past, decisions, reasoning, maybe punishment, reward. Everyone and everything will be judged, like the name, for good and bad. As we can see, this person, this angel, is pointing at someone and holding this spear. It looks like they're going to punish someone who has done wrong. But as we can also see, there are two additional hands here. There's a hand holding what looks like a crown of thorns that could be penance for past wrongdoing that they've finally made atonement for. And there's a fourth hand trying to appear that what doing. Let me see if I can get it to focus. That appears to be healing this wound, which in my opinion looks like closure and forgiveness of mistakes repaid. Maybe in this quarantine you've learned about yourself by judging your past actions, and you're ready to make a change and develop going forward. You need to make a decision, but look back with pleasure on the things you've done, because now you've recognized what you've done. You've made your judgment on yourself. So going forward, even now through quarantine, you need to stick with your decision and move through it. Now the last card for this deck, the Lovers. This card is usually for obviously love and relationships, maturity and decisions and connections, balancing your own choices. Maybe you'll meet a new lover, or maybe you'll have a new career opportunity, or if you're already with someone, maybe you'll have a deeper relationship connection for your long-term gain versus short-term. If it's a career opportunity, think it through, decide which one is best. Don't rush into it. Look beyond money to your future development and ambition. Follow the wisdom of your heart is what I'm getting from this. And then lastly, we have the supermoon, which says emotions are running high. I get from this opportunities are coming. They're going to be emotional. Think it through thoroughly. Don't ignore the obvious signs if it's a good opportunity or a bad opportunity. Really evaluate what's going on, but if your emotions are running high, try to sit back and think about it logically. Success is very close if you can trust yourself and your journey. So what I'm getting from this is that you're gonna get, in quarantine with all of us, you're gonna get some good news coming. You're gonna get good news, relationship, career, new ideas, and you're gonna need to take immediate action. Maybe you need to evaluate your past decisions that you've made for good or bad and apply it to this new news to see how you can move forward. And then listen to your heart and see what to do with these new opportunities or this new experience that's coming to you this quarantine, be it career-wise, relationship-wise, but know that success is coming for you, for yourself, as long as you can recognize that your emotions are here, but that you kind of don't want to be led specifically by your emotions in these decisions in quarantine. that you want to think about them as logically as possible. So what I'm getting from these cards as a whole is, for you in quarantine this week, maybe this is the buildup of emotions, maybe it's what's happening before, leading up to it, who knows? Only you know that for yourself, but something is coming that you can't stop. There's going to be change. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, it might even be painful for you. But you're going to see it come. You shouldn't try to fight it. You should try to release the energy that comes with this realization, that with this change, and you should make a new plan to push forward, or find something new that excites you, that you've learned from this change, that you can grow from this change, so that you can manifest what you actually want. And with the Queen of Cups, you can manifest your desires through selfless love. So this is the end of my pick a card for what's coming to you this week in quarantine. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up, or leave me a comment letting me know what you think, if any of these resonated with you. Until my next video, please stay safe, stay kind, be well.